Well, good morning, everybody. I thought I'd bring you out on one of my favorite trails this morning. So this is called the Potrero Ridge Trail over in Newbury Park, and give you a little look around. So let's see if you can see the background over there. Not too shabby. Kind of a nice view of some of the neighborhoods up here. Morning, Sue. Morning, Ray. Hope you guys are well as you wrap up 2020. I've been thinking about trails. I love trail climbing and hiking in our area. It's one of the beautiful parts about living here in the Conejo Valley. But I've been thinking a lot about trails and how each year is kind of like a trail. So each year is a little different. And even if you take the same trail a couple of days in a row, you may see different kinds of stuff. So you have different experiences. There's some ups and downs. And every year seems like it has its ups and downs. Now 2020, wow, right? What an interesting year. It seems like this has been the trail that wouldn't quit, that had some big ups and some really big downs. And hey, good morning, Summer. And a lot of surprises on the trail of 2020. So we were walking along on 2020, minding our own business, and then look at all this stuff that happens. A few months back, I was out on the Wendy Trail walking, and I saw some deer in the distance in the tall grass. So I snuck up on them and got as close as I could. I think I got probably about 30 feet from them. There were 3 of them, and then I popped up to take a picture, and they were coyotes. I think we scared each other about equally, and so this year has been kind of like that. We think it's going to go one way, it ends up going a different way. And as I talk with people this year, it seems like a lot of people want 2020 to just go away. They want it to fade into distant memory if they remember it at all. But I heard somebody say recently, never waste a crisis. And hey, good morning, Daniel. And I think that's a fantastic word of wisdom for us, that we need to grow and learn even through the difficult stuff and not just the stuff that we like. So instead of rushing into 2021 and forgetting 2020, I want to encourage you to just slow down and look over this last year, season by season, and just evaluate. What did you think, as you ponder, what did you overcome this year? Did you show courage? Did you show faith that surprised you? Or maybe it really surprised all the people around you. What did you see God do? Did you see him do some stuff in the middle of the year that was remarkable, and you said, wow, look what God did? And just pay attention to that. Take note of that. And was there anything this year that God showed you that he may not have shown you if it was an easy, simple, straightforward year? I was reading in Acts 2, and it was actually quoting Psalm 16. It says, "You have shown me the path of life." And God sees our lives as a path, and this journey with him as a path. And so he will show us how to walk it as we lean into him. And it's important to learn from the path behind us. You can see the path behind us, because it informs the path ahead. And so what did you learn in 2020 about you, and what did you learn about God? Maybe you learned some things about his faithfulness, his patience, his nearness that kind of blew you away that you were unaware of in the past. And another way of looking at the past year is, where did you get stuck? And maybe you felt like you got stuck in the mud, Maybe there were some mud puddles that just dragged you down and you felt like, oh man, how did I let that happen in my life? So what if you made two lists? Because we're right here at the end of 2020 and getting into 2021. What if you made a list of all the stuff that you want to keep? What's some discipline that you established this year? What's some new growth that you have seen? Some areas where you're showing, resilience or faith. What are some things that you started doing as a family that you didn't do before? Stuff that you started doing with your friends or with the Lord that you were not doing before this crazy year? Just make a list of the good stuff that you want to keep rather than feeling like, man, this year's a throwaway. No, grab the things that are really important to keep. And make another list of the negatives. Was there some anger and some frustration, some disappointment that you hung on to that you don't need to hang on to anymore? That it'd be better to enter into a new year without all that junk. Maybe you established not good habits, but some bad habits this year, or some things that were in the past, this year kind of got a hold of you. I've talked with a few people who've struggled a little with alcohol in the past, and this past year, they just fell in some big ways and are a little concerned about their future. So maybe it's a habit or something that you need to leave behind as you get into this next year. For me, I feel like I've grown a bunch as a leader through the difficult parts. And I feel like I've also grown in my ability to communicate with people digitally and in different ways, which has been really a good part of 2020. But the bad stuff that I want to leave behind, I feel like I listened to some negative voices too much. I feel like I let myself get distracted by being angry with certain people for what they were doing and, in the way they were communicating on God's behalf. It kind of made me a little crazy. I want to leave that stuff behind. So I encouraged our people on Sunday to make two lists. One is the keepers, and one is the stuff that you're going to get rid of from the year. And that night, Sunday night, I actually burned all of their lists of the stuff to leave behind. And it felt great to just get rid of it. So I want to encourage you to do the same thing. If you made those two lists, just grab that one of the negatives, the stuff that you don't want to carry forward, and just burn it. Or throw it away, put it in the trash compactor, get rid of this stuff just as a symbol of, God, I ask that you would work, and I don't need this stuff in my life anymore. I want to say hi to Bob and Danny and Annika. Hi, welcome you guys. And I want to just encourage all of you to make those two lists. And the whole idea is, don't you want to go into the new year free from all that stuff that drags you down? If I were to walk this path with an anchor behind me, my experience would be a whole lot different. And wouldn't it be great to go into the new year focused on the good stuff that God has done, the good stuff that He did in you, and where you could go into this year with gratitude, not with disappointment, frustration, all the unknowns. No, with gratitude. God, thank you that you've carried me thus far. Thank you that you're going to carry me forward. So I want to just close out our Devo this morning with Proverbs 3. And it says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge Him, and then He will make your path straight. Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you enjoy this last day or two of 2020, and I look forward to seeing you soon in the next year. God bless. Take care, everybody.